Why is it so difficult to ask for feedback? My name is Randy Hain, and today in the Coach's Corner, we're going to address best practices for asking for feedback. I'd like to talk to you today about best practices for seeking feedback. Asking for feedback can be one of the scariest things that we do in business, but it doesn't have to be that way. Feedback can help us improve our skills. Feedback can help us course correct. Feedback can and should be considered a gift. Let me give you 8 best practices that I think are really important for the appropriate way to ask for feedback. The first best practice is give people permission to be candid with you. That may seem obvious, but if you don't tell people that you want really honest, candid feedback, you may get, "You're amazing, you're wonderful, attaboy," and that's not really helpful. People need to know that it's okay to give you the difficult feedback that they may be holding back. The second best practice is make it timely. After a presentation, after a project is finished, whatever the end date of the thing is that you've just completed, try to seek feedback within 24 hours. Don't wait 6 weeks to go and ask for feedback. Getting it in a timely manner will be fresh and the most helpful. The third best practice is gather feedback in person. A call is okay, but I would prefer in person. Never ask for feedback via email, text, or a survey. You'll never like the answer. It will always be misread. So in person is best, followed by a call. The fourth best practice is be sincere. If you ask for feedback, you need to be ready for it. You need to be certain that you're ready to receive it. So if you're not ready, don't ask for it. The fifth best practice is be a continuous learner. We all have room to improve, and if you'll approach feedback as a way to gain skills, to learn, to get new insight that you didn't have before, you'll be much more ready to receive it. The sixth best practice is avoid defensiveness. Listen and consider the possible truth in what you're hearing. The worst thing you can do, and the thing that will always shut down the people giving you feedback, is to appear defensive. So be very careful about that. The seventh best practice is clarify and ask for specific feedback. Here's a bad way to do it. You need to work on your attitude. If that's the feedback that you've been given, I'm not sure what you do with it. That's not very specific. Instead, ask the person to give you very specific and clarifying feedback. This is a good way to hear it. I want to encourage you to not express your anger to the team when you hear bad news like you did yesterday. That's very specific, and you can do something with that. So be very clear with the other person. I need you to tell me exactly what it is that you're giving me feedback on so I can get better. The final piece of feedback, the 8th piece, best practice rather, is thank the giver. It takes courage for people to give difficult feedback, and you need to thank them for it. That's not your first instinct typically when you're hearing feedback, but I want to encourage you to thank the person giving it so they'll be encouraged to do it again. So the feedback that I have received over my career was sometimes rather painful to hear, but I am a better person and a professional for it. So embrace feedback as the gift that it is, and you will hopefully see it the same way that I do.